Well, by now, everybody knows about little Geoffrey Duncan, who came out of the closet somewhat recently and made it official. He is a member of the Georgia Democratic Party. Wasn't a big surprise. We all know he endorsed Kamala Harris in the DNC convention last year. Here's a photograph of him giving his bold support for Kamala Harris, he said. And a lot of people are talking about this. Is he going to run for governor? Is he going to run for some other higher office? Maybe is he going to run for Congress? It's all the buzz right now. I want to talk about this in a different context, and that is the context of our gun rights right now, today, here in Georgia. Because Geoff Duncan, make no mistake, Geoff Duncan is far from the only Republican who has spent years telling gun owners how pro-gun he is and then actively working to sabotage our gun rights here in Atlanta. I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk to you guys a bit about the choices that we have to make, us, you guys, everybody, in the fight for gun rights here in Georgia. Because we get asked or accused all the time that GGO members, you guys, us, all of us, GGO Nation, we're too mean, we're too aggressive, we're trying to intimidate the politicians here in Atlanta. And that's the constant refrain that we get from the politicians. They want us to be nice, suckers, docile sheep who will always say, sir, yes, sir. If you get aggressive, they don't like it. So we're going to talk about that and give you guys some ideas as to our philosophy here at Georgia Gun Owners. And I want to give you kind of a case study to make the point. And it's going to end with a hilarious video of former state senator Jeff Mullis, not Geoff Duncan, Jeff Mullis, whining like a bitch as he watched Georgia gun owners ram constitutional carry through the Senate in 2022. So a couple big things I want to cover in this video. First things first, GGO's philosophy. Is it true? Do we play aggressive in the fight for gun rights in Atlanta? And the answer is, of course. It's never been a secret. We've made that abundantly clear. GGO and GGO members, GGO Nation, we play for keeps. We play hardball. We know if we ever lose our gun rights, we're never going to get them back. And we all know that, again, there are a lot more Republicans than just Geoff Duncan who will tell us they're pro-gun and then stab us in the back when it comes to the Second Amendment. So a little more about Geoff Duncan. See, when he published his op-ed in the AJC, was it last week now, I guess, he mentioned that one of the big reasons why he wanted to change parties was his support for gun control. And it wasn't just some sort of a standard like bullet point, I support common sense gun control. He gave some details. Here's a screenshot from the article in the AJC. Top of the first line, far right-hand side, he says he wants universal background checks. We know what that means. Statewide gun registry. Criminalizes private sales, standard Democrat garbage. He also wants red flag gun seizures. Someone doesn't like you, they call you in, tell the cops you could be dangerous. Cops tell the court you could be dangerous. The court's like, oh my gosh, you could be dangerous. You've never committed a crime, never been arrested. You're not even aware of this is going on. It's a secret court hearing, and boom, your guns are gone. That's what Geoff Duncan wants. And finally, he wanted to raise the age on when a Georgian could buy a gun from 18 to 21. And again, the point here is not so much about Geoff Duncan. I want you guys to know this is what's going through his mind as he is the lieutenant governor telling everybody how pro-gun he is. Because in his op-ed, Geoff said that his conversion began before the 2020 elections. So this is the risk that we are all facing right now here in Georgia. How many more Geoff Duncans do we have? And don't forget the way in which he is allowed to, in part, get away with this. Of course, Geoff Duncan, A-rated from the National Rifle Association. And then when he ran for lieutenant governor in 2018, he has their endorsement. Of course, he flags this very high all over social media. And now, obviously, this is before his comments and before he changed parties. I'm not trying to imply that they endorsed a Democrat, but it is a known fact now that the NRA will endorse anybody who's a Republican up to and possibly even including a corpse. If you can fog a mirror and you're a Republican and you say you're pro-gun, you get the endorsement. They don't fact check this stuff. They're hardly ever even here in the Capitol in the first place. And that's the problem. The Republicans can all say I'm pro-gun. They can do nothing. The NRA is like, oh, they're pro-gun. Here's your A rating. Boom, you get it. And then the NRA protects them. And then these guys protect themselves in the NRA, and nobody ever has to move a gun bill. That's the standard operating procedure here in Atlanta. If it hadn't been, that is, for Georgia guns. So number one, don't forget, the NRA will endorse anybody and everybody. But number two, don't forget that there's a lot of Republicans who will look you right in the eye. They'll shake your hand at the forums, and they will stone cold lie to you and say they support the Second Amendment while secretly hating it and having a multi-step platform gun control bills they would like to pass. So who are we talking about? What other Republicans are we talking about? Well, the answer is there are dozens and dozens of them, especially in the House. But one of them, make no mistake, is Speaker John Burns. Now, before session, I had a meeting with Speaker Burns. I was there. Alex was there. The GGO team in general, we were all there. John was there in the Capitol, had his entire team there, leadership, staff, a big old meeting. And the whole point of the conversation was talking about the agenda for session. One of those items, of course, being the Second Amendment Preservation Act. We talked all about SEPA, what it is, what it isn't, why we need it, why now is the right time. And of course, John Burns is sitting there. And the thing is, I already knew this before we even had the confirmation, but I had to go and try just in case he was a straight shooter. He's sitting there, he's nodding his head, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it was. And then we get all done. And John Burns is like, well, I sure appreciate you boys. Now, here's the deal. I'm 100% pro-gun. There's no one more pro-gun here than me here in Georgia. A lifetime NRA member. I go shooting with Marty Daniels with Daniel Defense, personal friends of mine. But here's the deal. And there's always a big but, right? It's always a but. And I knew it was going to happen. And he says, but if we move any gun bills right now, we're going to lose our House majority. And so instead, we're going to try to basically like appease the leftists and give them some stuff to try to get these suburban seats to remain in Republican hands. We want to try to get the gun control crowd to see us as not being too extreme. I mean, this is how stupid these people are. Number one, they'll tell you at your forums, at your events, when you see him at church on Sunday, 100% pro-gun, take it to the bank. And number two, and in real life, they couldn't give a crap less. But then worse than that, they're actively conspiring to try to find ways to placate the gun grabbers here in Atlanta. For example, just last session, we had hearings on gun control bills from Michelle Au. The first time in modern history, the GOP grants a hearing to a gun control bill. This is part of their effort to appease the radical left. It made national news. We have other Republicans right now in the House who will co-sponsor gun control bills, again, because they're trying to placate the radical left. This is what I mean when I say we have a choice to make as gun owners. We can follow this path of appeasement, watch all of our gun bills die, and watch the Democrats take over the House, or we can continue to do what we've always done, fight hard, go to battle, and demand the Republicans actually keep their word and pass gun bills. And here's the case study I want to give you guys. Here's what happens, not every single year, but here's what happens when we hold our, consistent to our tactics, to our philosophy, and stop giving in or trying to make deals with the radical left. 2022, GGO passes, as you guys all know, you were all involved in this fight. We pass constitutional carry. We get introduced, I think it was Senate Bill, I think it was 319. It might have been 316. I'm not sure. I think it was 319. 32 co-sponsors, pretty much the entire GOP caucus in the Senate. They're on the bill. We get it past judiciary relatively quickly. And then it goes to the Rules Committee. And once it hit rules, it sat there and was dying for about, 2.5 weeks as session is winding down. We then find out that Geoff Duncan, back when he professed to be a pro-gun Republican, Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan, wanted to slow roll it and possibly kill it. And again, you have a choice to make. Do you just say, sir, yes, sir, it's okay, we'll try again next year, or do you go to war? And that's exactly what, as you guys all remember, GGO did. We went to freaking war. Digital ads, texting campaigns all across the state to all the members of the Rules Committee, lit drops, in district, emails, direct mail, every tool we could think of to put pressure on these people in the Capitol. Because at the end of the day, that's the only two choices that we have. Kiss everyone's backside or kick it. And we kicked it. And they didn't like it very much. I want to play this Jeff Mullis video. This is after we ran our entire mobilization program and we beat Jeff Mullis's political head in and forced these guys to move the bill out of rules and out of the Senate and eventually onto the governor's desk. They didn't like it very much. Here's this video. I'm going to play about 2.5 minutes of it. It's gonna make you laugh. Watch this guy whine and cry.
I rise today because I'm just damn mad. Let me tell you, we work on honor, morality, and ethically on our advocating for issues here.
I'm not going to stop too many times, but the irony of hearing Jeff Mullis talk about how he's honorable and moral is hilarious. If you know this guy and you know some of his story, to hear this guy lecture gun owners about honor and morality, it is the height of irony. I'm going to hit play again.
And there are people in the hall that don't quite understand that. Now, a lot of people in this chamber are pro-Second Amendment people. We live it. My district is, if they had a number one issue, it would be about Second Amendment. In fact, if the NRA wanted to pass a bill that a baby had to put a gun in his diaper, I would be voting for it. And let me talk about the NRA, representing the National Rifle Association, honorable organization represented by Raymond White here, and the Georgia Carry, which is now called the Second Amendment organization, represented by Stephen Lofton. Good people. We work with them. When we have an issue regarding the Second Amendment, those are the two groups we call upon, not that other group.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you play the game, if you always protect the incumbents, no matter what pieces of crap they are, then you can have this loser get on the floor and say, we work with the NRA. Of course you do. They give you all A ratings and they expect you guys to do nothing, which is why you normally do nothing, but not that other group. Take this as a badge of honor. That's exactly when you know that we are all doing our jobs the right way. When these guys are crying about how much they don't like GGO members and GGO Nation, that's when you know we're on the right track. Let me keep hitting play.
The Georgia gun owners, they're led by people that are just trying to raise money off of the lies that they talk about members in this chamber. Issued in this chamber. Not true. But they have invaded privacy on a lot of members here, and they're people that they're trying to stir up by telling just the blatant lies out there.
See, what he's talking about here is how we told everybody in Georgia using text messages and other things that these guys are blocking constitutional carry in the Rules Committee. We're told on orders from Geoff Duncan. But of course, to a politician, that means they're invading our privacy and they're telling lies. That's a very simple fact. The bill was dying in the Rules Committee. Let me hit play a little bit longer.
This chamber will have Second Amendment issues to vote on. I'm sure primarily conservatives will vote for it, and others that aren't so conservative will not vote for it. I'm not trying to call names here, but I respect that. I respect your decision by representing your district, how you vote. I think that's what we're here for. We're a representative form of government, and we represent our people. And those issues are going to come to the floor. But they're going to come to the floor when we have enough time for a fair debate.
This bill never would have come to the floor because Geoff Duncan was behind the scenes with his A rating from the NRA in his pocket, pulling the strings, trying to nuke the bill in the Rules Committee. This is exactly how the game is played. This video is almost done. Give me just a little bit longer.
And we should. We should represent our districts and debate issues according to how we represent our people. God help us. God bless us for that. But those people out in the hall that are just simply lying to try to stir up trouble, they need to find another profession. And by the way, they're lobbying without a lobbyist badge too, and I think that's illegal, immoral, impractical, and they should be persecuted for that. If you're going to be here, persecuted and prosecuted. Persecuted would be nailed on the cross, I think, wouldn't it? Now, I'm not necessarily against that either, by the way.
This guy was absolutely hilarious. Persecute him, prosecute him. Everything he could do to try to muzzle the members of Georgia gun owners. And for a lot of organizations, for a lot of lobbyists, for a lot of good people, that kind of stuff is very scary stuff. It wasn't. It's not our first fight, thankfully. And we were able to finally get this thing done. But the lesson that we taught, the reason why Jeff Mullis was whining like that is because we made it clear to everybody that we know you people are snakes. We know there's Republicans who say one thing and will do another if we give them any wiggle room. So we're not here to play nice. We're not here to make friends. We're not here to have drinks after hours with Senator Mullis. We're here to save our state and defend freedom. Sometimes you lose when that happens. Sometimes you win. And we won big in 2022. Here's photographs from the day of the signing ceremony. This is me and Governor Kemp right before he signed the bill into law. This is a different photograph here. A bunch of the GGO team, all the thumbs up in the back. That's part of our guys. I got myself back there, Ben Dorr, Chris Dorr, Alex Dorr, part of all the Dorr brothers. Patrick Parsons, our founder here at Georgia Gunners. We're all there watching the big day as Governor Kemp signed the bill into law. Sometimes you win big like this. Sometimes you lose. That happens too. But here's what I can guarantee you. If we don't continue to stand up, to be loud in a fight like hell, we are going to watch more and more fake Republicans, Geoff Duncan style Republicans, tell us how pro-gun they are. And when we count them the most, when we need them to do the right thing, they will side with the Democrats when it comes to gun control. We can never let that happen. If you guys agree, stand with us today. Go to joinggo.com or our full website, georgiagunowners.org, and get involved in this fight today. Guys, it's a great day in the fight for gun rights here in Georgia, but we can never, ever let up. Get involved today.